Okay, good afternoon. This is Debbie Davis. It is September 23rd. And okay, so I just had an issue. Today at the VA. Okay, so I'm trying to get this travel pay. I tried to turn in my pay to going to my acupuncturist, right? Okay. So, 3 times. Okay, I've been on hold for 10 minutes just to talk to the travel office at times. Okay, then I finally get through and I talk to, okay, there's apparently a new supervisor at the travel office, some woman I've never heard of, Sue Ricker. Okay, I've never heard of this woman. This is apparently a new supervisor. And she's taking 14 weeks to process claims. Okay, the VA, we all know this now. Normally, the VA travel office takes between 3 to 5 days. That's the standard procedure. Is that it's usually within a week. Okay, that we've received our travel pay. When I called them today after being on hold for 10 minutes at the VA, just to be transferred over to the travel office, I was on hold for 15 minutes. Just calling the VA in Minneapolis. Okay, and you call this care at the VA. This is the VA Minneapolis St. Paul. And so I know this one guy, Jacob. I know he's not even a real employee. I don't believe he's even a real employee. Now there's another woman. Okay, and she's now withholding the travel pay for 14 weeks out. Okay, so I don't know what else to call this except for veterans abuse, harassment, fraud. I mean, what else can you call it? I mean, that's what it is. They're allowing us to be frauded out of our money, out of our, what else can you call it? Okay, and then I'm on the phone with a guy named Daniel, and then he's getting somebody talking to him in the background, and I said, well, Daniel, this is fraud. You can't, we all know the standard time frame is like 3 to 5 days, and this is unacceptable that it's 14 weeks. And I said, well, I would like to know your supervisor's name. And then he wouldn't tell me. And then finally he tells me her name, and then it's that Jacob guy. So we got 2 supervisors now, 2 supervisors over there that nobody's ever seen before. Of course, that's not weird or anything or abnormal. Of course, nobody even knows if they're real employees. Okay. At the VA, this is the VA Minneapolis St. Paul. Okay. And then on top of it, he tried to say, when I said, well, I consider this fraud. And I said, I'm going to turn this into, a few people that I believe this is fraud that you're trying to commit. And then he's like, well, you're talking to a federal employee, right? It's like, well, what do you think? Of course, you work at the VA. Of course, it's a federal employee. Well, no. Oh, now is it illegal for me to ask for my money? Isn't that your job? Isn't that what you get a salary for? No, you work at the. So now they're trying to turn it around on me, acting like I was somehow in the wrong for asking for my travel pay. Okay, so this is how crazy it's getting at the VA in St. Paul. Okay, you have every right to request your travel pay. You have every right to request. And they are by law, they have to give you reasons as to why it's taking so long. They have to give you, if you need to talk to a supervisor, they have to provide names. They have to, you don't get to just get away with abusing and frauding veterans. Okay. So I don't know what you think that I'm doing wrong by asking for your supervisor's name. But you have federal standards that you have to go by as a federal employee. And we have every right as veterans to hold you accountable. Okay, that is not threatening you in any way. We are simply trying to hold you accountable because you are, what you're doing is outside of the federal regulations. And so if you're not within the regulations, we have a right to hold you accountable for your actions. Okay, so let's just make that very clear for the people at the VA travel office. We have every right as veterans to hold you accountable under federal law for your federal actions of illegally frauding us and harassing us at the VA. Okay?